is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What's good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. Today we're going to talk about a little bit more in-depth of Kawhi Leonard and his season that he's having right now with the Toronto Raptors. They're looking good. They're undefeated, and they done beat some decent teams along the journey. They beat teams like the Sixers, and they really have been playing very well. And a lot of us predicted that they'll have a good season, especially because they played the Cavaliers and they also played the Hornets and the Wolves, and they was able to win. But they also played the Wizards. They also played the Celtics and have been able to beat them too. And even though they got off to this start, I'm not really surprised because I had the Toronto Raptors finishing first or second. I obviously picked that they would finish second in the Eastern Conference to the Boston Celtics. And it still might happen because we're only 4 or 5 games into the season. So it ain't like it's the last 2 games of the season and they're the #1 seed. So the main reason why I picked the Toronto Raptors to still win enough games, and the reason why I picked Kawhi Leonard to win MVP, his first ever MVP. And I picked him last year to win MVP, but he had significant injuries. But he has come back. He looks more better. He looks healthier. He looks more confident. He's jumping on them legs. He's getting to the paint. He's getting the shots that he wants. He's showing that he can be a decent playmaker and a shot creator. He got an average of 2.5 assists, never been known as a great passer. But I've been watching a lot of the games, and he has been a better passer, especially out of the isolation and especially out of driving. When he's driving to the paint, he's doing a lot more kickouts. Obviously, he's holding the ball and handling a lot more. And the most important thing that we have seen, which we haven't really seen in San Antonio, he's shooting a lot of shots. He had games like against the Cavaliers when he shot 22 shots. He had games against the Celtics when he shot 25. And even against Minnesota yesterday, he shot 23 shots a game. And that's something that we didn't see in San Antonio Kawhi, the aggressiveness, his ability to have the ball in his hands and make plays, not just for himself, but for others, but his ability to feel like he is unguardable, he is unstoppable. That's something that we really haven't seen from Kawhi Leonard, and we're starting to see it a lot more this season, that they're trusting him within the offense. They're running a lot of offense through him, and it's just about him getting more comfortable, him, meshing well with his teammates, him getting on the same page with his coaches, and just going out there and executing what they want him to do. And I feel like they're allowing him to be who he is. They're putting him in spots to where he can succeed, and he's showing his diverse abilities this season more than ever, because he's showing that he can post up. He's showing that he can shoot the fadeaway. He's showing that he can create shots off the dribble, whether it's a pull-up jumper, whether it's a pull-up three, whether it's getting to the paint and finishing with layups to dunks, or even getting to the free throw line. Well, he has always really been a great free throw shooter, and he's shooting 89% from the field. But at this point right now, Kawhi Leonard is averaging 28 points on 51% shooting from the field, 47% from 3, 89 from the free throw line. He also giving you 7.8 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 1 steal a game, and only 2.3 turnovers. That's as efficient as you can get. Now, I obviously know that these numbers are not going to be the same numbers by the end of the season, and that's obvious, but he has been flirting with 50, 40, and 90 for a couple of seasons at this point, so I wouldn't really be surprised if he actually did it. Matter of fact, I think he can do it. It's just about going out there and doing it on a consistent basis. Kawhi Leonard is one of the top 5 players in the world. Everybody knows it. Everybody says it, and it's unanimous. But he's showing now that he's starting to have that killer mentality, and that's something that he really didn't have coming into the Spurs, and it's something that he started to develop, is wanting to take over, wanting to close the game, wanting to make the plays, and it was just an evolution of his game, constantly getting better, constantly getting more confident, constantly, showing and improving in practice and going out there and doing it on the court. And now it's just time for him to take that throne of, I'm the best player ever. I'm the best player in the league. I feel like I'm on guard. Nobody can guard me. I feel like I'm the best perimeter defender, and it's one thing to think it, but now he just has to go out there and do it. And part of that is going out there guarding the best player. Is going out there and trying to take over games, and is going out there and trying to make plays for your team offensively or defensively to win games. And that's something that Kawhi Leonard has been doing for the last couple of years, and now he's just doing it even better because he's taking more shots. He's letting you know that he wants to take over. He wants to be dominant. He already went for a couple 30-point games already this season. Well, he hasn't really been having that many in his career. He already went for two of them. One game he had 31 points. The other game he had 35. And I expect him to get even more 30-point games throughout this season because Nick Nurse seems like he loves Kawhi Leonard and he's going to utilize him as much as he can. And he's been abusing that. And if you can get a chance to get a top 10, top 5 player in the league, he made that trade, and now you're starting to see why. Kawhi Leonard is a better shooter than DeMar DeRozan. He's a better scorer than DeMar DeRozan. He's more efficient. He just a better player in general, and they're getting the best out of his talent. I feel like Greg Popovich was bringing him along slowly, allowing him to be a role player, then trying to evolve him into the franchise player. And as soon as I picked him to win the MVP, that's the year that he went out. We all thought that Kawhi Leonard was going to help this team get back to title contentions after Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili retired. It was going to be his time. And as soon as it was time for his time, he was able to finish in the top 5 in MVP voting. But the next year, he ended up going all the way down and only playing in a couple games. So even though that hurted his legacy because he missed basically a whole year of not being an all NBA player, not being an all-star player. But right now he's showing you why he's the player that we all respect, why he's showing even nowadays why he's the defensive player of the year. And he's getting the steals, he's getting the blocks. He's really just showing how ferocious he is. And if this team continues to win, and if they can finish number one in the East like they did last year, and Kawhi Leonard is playing the same defense, making it tough on offensive player, guarding the best player, not fouling, stealing the ball without fouling, protecting the paint to the best of his ability, playing great help defense, great rotations. If he can be the best defender in the league while still, dominating and taking over games offensively like he's been doing so far in these first couple games, and they're still winning games and number one in the East, maybe even number one in the NBA. I don't see how Kawhi Leonard can't win MVP, and that's the main reason why I picked him to win MVP is because he's on a team that needs him to be dominant. He's on a team that needs him to take over, and if he just goes out there and do it, they're already good enough to win games. They have the talent. They have Serge Ibaka. They have Danny Green. They have Kyle Lowry. They have OG. This team has enough talent to really be one of the best teams in the NBA. That's why I picked them to finish 1 or 2 in the Eastern Conference because they have all the talent and they have Kawhi Leonard. There's no reason why they shouldn't unless injuries happen. And if they're able to stay healthy, they're going to win enough games to put them in that conversation for being the MVP. But he has to go out there and dominate. Yeah, Giannis getting more rebounds. He's getting more assists. But you got to remember, Kawhi Leonard is shooting significantly better from the three-point line, and he's shooting significantly better from the free throw line. So stats do matter. Winning do matter. And right now, him and Giannis is fighting for that number one player in the East. You still can put in Kyrie Irving, you could put in Joel Embiid, but we really don't know until the season plays out. And right now, him and Giannis is neck and neck, but I'm going to go with Kawhi Leonard. They won more games, but not only that, Kawhi Leonard showed a little bit more versatility, offensively, defensively, in the fact that he's more efficient from all around the court, not just in one area. So that's all I really wanted to say. That Kawhi Leonard, with them, the ability for them to win games, his ability to be the best defender in the NBA, and his growing and evolution offensively is only going to be a certain amount of time before he becomes the MVP. And I think that this roster with the floor spacing, with the shot blocking, they can be one of the best defensive players in the best defensive teams in the league with Pascal Siakam and obviously Serge Ibaka anchoring that paint. And then you have Danny Green, OG, Kawhi Leonard on the perimeter. This is going to be one of the tougher teams to beat. Plus, they got the three-point shooting with Serge and obviously Kawhi and OG and Danny Green and Kyle Lowry that they're going to get up and down on the court because they big and athletic, but they also can protect the paint. Plus, they can shoot the three. Plus, they got some decent ball handlers. This is going to be one of the most versatile and diverse teams in the NBA, and they're going to be tough to stop, especially when they knocking down shots and threes. Plus, they got game players like Kyle Lowry and Kawhi Leonard that can take over games, that can get hot, and that can close out games in the regular season. And we all got to remember that the MVP is a regular season award. So whether this team flops or whether this team was terrible in the playoffs, or even if they don't get to the Eastern Conference Finals or the NBA Finals, the MVP is won in the regular season. And right now, Kawhi Leonard is having his best season to date. But he also has more opportunities. He has more chances because they need him to be great. They need him to take over, and they need him to be the best player on the team, which allows him to put up better numbers. And as long as they're winning, he's going to be in that argument all season long for MVP. And he's showing right now that he could still be the best defender in the NBA, up there with Draymond Green, Rudy Gobert, and other players like that of that ilk. But he's showing to me he's the best defender, and he's showing me that he's one of the best offensive players in the league. And that's something that we haven't really seen until the last 2 years, which was 16 and now 18, that he really can be your number one option. He really can be unstoppable, and he can close out games. And he's been proving that as he's been the guy these last 3 seasons. Yeah, and you really don't count last year because he didn't play that much. But the last 2 seasons, he was putting himself in the MVP conversation. He was putting himself in that top 5 conversation. And now all of a sudden, it's just time for him to go out there and prove that he's the best player in this league and that he really does deserve that MVP. But he's not going to say he deserves it. He's about to go out there and take it. And that's what he's really been doing so far in this season. So let me know, is I'm overrating Kawhi Leonard? Is I'm underrating Kawhi Leonard? Is he good? Is he bad? Is he a benefit for the system? Is he great without Greg Popovich? These are all the things that we was questioning going into this season, and Kawhi Leonard has responded well, helping them win games, helping take over games, helping getting steals and blocks, and helping his teammates while also guarding the best players and still giving you efficient numbers offensively and being dominant. He's going to have more 30-point games. He's going to have more highlights, and he's going to have more wins than he ever probably had going into this season as the guy. Only season that you really compare him to is the one when in 2016, and I think that he's showing that he's a little bit better than that year. And if he can do that in Toronto, I don't see why he can't win the MVP. So check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Also, check out my spread shirt there. You can find t-shirts, hoodies, sweaters, even accessories like phone cases, water bottles, and even pillowcases. But also check out my Facebook page. I got shirts that's exclusive only on my Facebook page. There you can find t-shirts where you can change the color of the logo, change the color of the shirt, and all you have to do is message me on Facebook and I can get it sent out to you. Any color, any logo can be changed. The color can be changed and the shirt can be changed, or you can just change both. All you have to do is click on my Facebook page in the description in the conversation below and message me what shirt you want and how you want it, and I can get it shipped out to you. Let me know if you guys really think Kawhi Leonard is going to be in that MVP conversation. Do you think he's going to win the MVP? Do you think he's good enough to do it? I don't see why not. They're going to win games. He's going to put up numbers. He's going to be dominant offensively and defensively. So I don't see no real reason why he can't win MVP this year, especially playing with this Toronto Raptors team that's well coached and has a lot of talent offensively and defensively. Let me know. I enjoy making these videos. You guys enjoy watching Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm gone. And let me know if you think Kawhi Leonard can really run with the MVP.